Oh, so when I was in 8th grade, I got my first cell phone because I was just moving to a new area and I was doing a lot of sports, so my parents wanted me to stay in touch with them. And I remember the first day I got my cell phone, we were at the Verizon store in the mall, and the guy said, "Would you like a text messaging plan?" And he said it'd be 7 text messages a month, and that was the limit. And I literally remember looking at my dad and saying, "Why would you type someone a message when you could just call them and it would be quicker?" That feels like just yesterday. And to think about where texting has gone from then up until now, I mean, it encompasses everyone's daily lives. We don't go a day without texting, most people. I mean, unless you don't have a texting plan, don't have a cell phone, or whatnot, everybody texts. And take a look at this statistic. 75% of Americans admit to using smartphones when they're on the toilet. And that's anything from reading text to sending text to making phone calls, sending emails, using Facebook, and even shopping on the internet. I can honestly say I've never bought a pair of jeans while sitting on the toilet, but hey, it's all up to you. So finally we get to my experiment, and what I really wanted to explore was what it would be like to not have this brick sitting in my hand 24/7, not being able to use it all the time. And so I gave up texting for 3 weeks, and not just texting, but I gave up texting, emailing from my phone, Facebooking from my phone, anything that had to deal with communication from me to somebody else using my cell phone besides phone calls. And I knew I needed to make some major rules. So first, no texting, obviously. Second, when a text is received, I need to call the person back no matter how minuscule the text is. Third, no emailing from my phone, and yes, pictures does count as texting and emailing. And finally, no Facebook messaging or tweeting from my iPhone. So it's safe to say that the entire experiment was super difficult. The hardest part of it was when I received text and when it was really a pain to call people back, and that really made me realize just how convenient texting is compared to any other means of communication. Just one story from my experiment that really stuck out to me as probably one of the biggest challenges was something was going wrong with my financial aid, and my mom really needed to get a hold of me. And she texted me at work and asked me a question, and it was a question I could have easily looked up online and texted her back, and everything would have been fine. She could call the right people, but I really wanted to try hard in this experiment and stick to my guns. And so I turned into one of those people, and I brought my phone into the bathroom and called my mother and gave her the information. That was about a week and a half into my experiment, and it was definitely an eye-opener to just how convenient. But just because we're coming out with new ways to do things does not mean that the old way is dying. It just means that it's becoming better. And I think this whole experiment really revolved around the fact that I wanted to figure out whether communication was lacking due to this new form of communication, texting. And I realized that it's just changing. It's not lacking. It's different, but it works. And while we may not call each other on the phone, we're getting to talk to a whole lot more people because it's much more efficient. And so what I want to take away from this, and what I want you all to take away from this, is that always embrace the new things that are changing and becoming popular, because it's really how we're connecting to each other.